Right now we're down at the Las Vegas SEMA show, SEMA 2018. I drove down from Springfield, Oregon. Took me about 14 hours. Mopar invited us back to their booth again. It's an honor. It always is an honor because, let's face it, I mean, that's the big guy, right? And so for us to be part of the adopted family is pretty cool. This year, I told them I was building a little dead wagon with the second generation 426 Hemi in it, and they wanted to put it in their booth. So we're down here setting that up.
The red carpet's pretty cool. They take some of the really cool, popular cars and kind of roll them across the stage before they head inside to get set up for their display. So Justin and I came down a day early, kind of go over the A100, make sure it was running, driving, ready to go. Got here early this morning, got right to the booth, and it wouldn't start. So after some trial and error, going through the whole thing, come to find out our fuel pump is no longer working. This pump is for real?
Yeah.
How does a brand pump just stop after like day 2 of running? So we got it disconnected, like hit the switch, and we got nothing coming out of that.
Yeah, nothing's coming out of it at all. It's fried.
So right now we can't run the truck, and we have about 45 minutes before we're doing the red carpet. And the reason we're running around, sweating, it's hot as hell in here.
So I think that the fuel pump's probably not pumping. It's running, but it's not pumping anything. So Mopar has this, I think, 345 horse crate engine. Remember when they built the one up last year, they just used regular fuel pump on it? So it's got an electric fuel pump inside here that's regulated up to 60 pounds for this, but we can regulate it down for ours. And it's got 6 AN fittings on it. So I think they're coming over to take the pump out and then hand it to us, and we're going to put it in ours. So the 2 wires that go to ours will have to go over to theirs.
Okay.
And I imagine he's connected those in a different way, but they've got tools here. They've got everything.
Great.
When I got here, the battery was dead. We've had this thing dialed in for 3 or 4 days, and not once have we had a battery issue. Mopar had a display unit here, knew the urgency of everything, the time frame, the crunch that we had, and they said, hey, here you go, take apart what you need. And that was pretty rock star right there on their part.
So whatever we're going to need to be able to get that in, we got to do it quick if we're going to make it to the red carpet.
Yeah.
And I think what it's going to do is it's going to draw off of just one tank right now, just to get over there and back, and leave the other one connected so it doesn't bleed out. That's what I'm hoping. That's the goal, to see what we can do.
They're actually taking one of their engines and it's complete, and they're letting us take the fuel pump off of it right now so we can put it on our truck for tonight's event. Right now we have 30 minutes to get this off and get it installed. It's going to be a long shot, but Justin's working on it right now, so I think there is a chance we can get it done.
I have a suspicion that whoever moved it into the Mopar booth last night left the fuel pump on, because there's nothing that says fuel pump or off or on, so it'd be easy to leave it on. Because this morning when Will got here, the battery was completely dead, and it's a brand new 127 battery. The switch was off, but I think somebody came around and realized what they had done later. So I think that pump running all night without a shutoff valve on it took the pump.
It is a different fuel pump, but it's still the same style. 2 wires it runs, nothing fancy. It's just a matter of, we didn't come down here with a ton of tools. I just kind of put what I thought we might need in my little Disneyland backpack, and we're trying to muscle through it right now. We have the fuel pump in there. The problem we're running into is they use bigger fittings than what we used. So at this point, we're trying to see if we can just bypass all of our system completely and go with their setup all the way through and try to get it good enough just to get it to the red carpet tonight. It is 1:45, we have 15 minutes. It's just been one problem after another. We've always been able to overcome everything over the past couple months. That means the little dead wagon is dead.
We just found out that we're not going to be able to get this truck running and on stage for the red carpet event. So instead we're getting ready to raise it up in the air, put it on the stand so it can be up on display. Everybody will enjoy it. It was just kind of disappointing that we couldn't get to the actual red carpet event.
I guess we just clean up our mess, get the forklift, because we still need to get this thing jacked up and done. Yep, we'll talk tomorrow. All right.
It's real frustrating, real disappointing.
So at this point, we're basically just kind of buttoning it back up. We're going to get it lifted 4 feet up in the air, and then we're going to go out and have a drink. street. We're done. Get ready to do all of our autographs and shit tomorrow.
There's two things that I have to do at SEMA. Number one is keep the tradition of starting at 426, and we did that. Number two is to always make sure we bring a big announcement, and trust me, I have one. And speaking of concepts, I know that there is something special under this cover over here.
I don't know what kind of car is under the cover on the stage, but I'm anxious to find out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 1968 Dodge Supercharger concept.
The concept Supercharger is a good-looking car. Now, they just wanted you to see what a concept Charger could look like should they do something like that down the road.
Honestly, I think this car is awesome. It's bringing the old school and the new school together, which for my generation is going to make us fall in love with Mopar all over again.
A lot of cool things to it. Love the color. A lot of modifications that were really cool. Overall, it's gorgeous.
I like it. I'm sure Mark loves it too.
I think they'd be missing the boat if they didn't build something close to that. They did it with the Challenger, proved it can be done, took old world influence, put it into a new generation car that met all of the safety regulations and EPA and all that. They can do it again. They can do it with a Charger.
That sucks that this is a car that's not going to go into production and that it's only a concept car. Can we start a GoFund page or something? Get 1,000 signatures, we can make it.
Mopar's great at everything they do. One really cool thing was the way they ran their exhaust through the taillights. That's just that next level that you don't really think about. That's just thinking outside the box when you're doing a creative build like that. I thought it was executed really nice.
You know, I wasn't here back in the 70s, so it's a big catch-up game. My generation liked a lot of the modifications, kind of making their cars their own. So seeing the two worlds come together is pretty awesome.
I have to put a firewall in my brain and just say, there's old world original, that's my heart and that's my passion. But you got to open the door to new ideas. So the Supercharger is a very modified, well done, but very modified Charger that I wouldn't probably invest the time into doing for myself. So it's not really my cup of tea. But I think the world loves it. I think the world would buy them like hotcakes if they came out.
I think it's super cool. It's different than anything else they have on the streets, and I think that would be awesome if they put it into production.
A little too extreme for my taste on certain things, but it's still a beautiful car, and they should be really proud of what they built.
I don't know exactly, but it's my hunch that in the next few years we could see something like that. And if they made it in burnt orange, I'd order the first one off the assembly line. One of the things I'm looking forward to is at 4:26 in the afternoon, they always have their press release on the first day of the show. So they've asked me to be out in the audience because they want to surprise me, I guess.
If you're a SEMA regular, you may have been expected to be greeted by someone with an Italian accent.
So our good friend Pietro actually moved up, and now he's working with Mopar on a global level. So now we have a new guy named Steve we're getting to work with.
So I think it's time for me to address the elephant in the room. All right, I think it is.
You know, this year's super, super exciting. They have a surprise for Mark. We don't know what it's going to be.
So over the last few years, Mopar has been excited with words like horsepower, Hemi crate engines, Hell crate.
Mopar has a big surprise. Hasn't told us, hasn't told Mark. So I'm kind of anxious to see what it is.
We're always looking for that extra ounce of performance. And the good news is, we found it.
So I know that my dad has no idea what the surprise is going to be from Mopar because he's going around to everybody and trying to get information from them.
And you may have seen our teasers, by the way, on social media. And as you watched, you knew something big was coming. Well, the wait is over.
The fact that they kept me out of it, I know it's a big release.
All right, introducing another first from Mopar. Plug and play, 1,000 horsepower, Mopar 426 supercharged elephant crate Hemi engine.
I had no idea that they were about to unveil the most incredible crate engine in the history of the world.
That's right, this Mopar elephant crate Hemi engine delivers a staggering 1,000 horsepower along with 950 pound-feet of torque. This elephant is a beast.
1,000 horsepower, 4-digit horsepower in a crate with a controller running on 93 octane pump gas.
Back in the day, it cost you $25,000 to build a motor with that much horsepower, and you couldn't run it on pump gas.
Chevy and Ford can say whatever they want. The game is over. Who got the checkered flag? Mopar.
Well, we'd like to think the Elephant is a very special gift, and all the performance lovers out there, but what's a gift if you can't open it up and play with it? So I think we should fire this thing up. I also think we should bring Pietro back up to help me fire this thing up.
It was fun to see Pietro again. I only get to see him once a year. That guy is all over the globe, non-stop, in a plane constantly.
So excited to be here once here again. And by the way, Steve, there is a good friend of Mopar here at SEMA. He has been my partner in crime for a couple of years, and he is a true Mopar enthusiast. I mean, we have a little discussion about who invented Mopar or no car, but I think I will take, Mark was on stage with us.
Come on up, Mark. Where are you at? There he is.
Mopar or no car. Yeah.
Mopar or no car.
So they did bring me up on stage. I'm up there with the global president of Mopar and the U.S. president of Mopar, and here's little old Mark Warman. Oh, that's crazy. That's mental.
As always, they told you to walk in front of the car and you can.
Who else would do this other than Mopar, right?
Oh,
so,
that's
what do you guys think? Let's, why don't you help me get this thing fired up,
we're
right?
starting it, right? Take the fire marshal 15 minutes to get here. I'll be at my motel room. Start it.
All right, so on the count of 3, guys, help me.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Now the fire marshal is gonna come.
There you go. Listen to that.
Listen to that.
Come on, now give it a round.
In a crate! Woo! Awesome!
Oh, all right.
Now that's real.
Yeah, that sounds music to my ears.
Oh,
It's unbelievable.
that's beautiful.
That's Mopar style.
That is what Mopar's done ever since it started. They're amazing how they keep secrets here from you. I don't know how that many people can keep a secret.
Hey,
Love it.
and Mark, since you're a good friend of Mopar and a good friend of Pietro, I'm going to consider you a friend of mine. And by the way, that engine's yours. You can use it in one of your project cars coming up. How about that?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That engine's yours.
I've never seen him speechless, but about twice, and I think that was the second time.
I had no idea that it was coming. And if you're at home, you go, it's an engine. I get that. It isn't that. It isn't it's the first engine. It's that Mark Warman was recognized for something that he's so passionate about. Wow! Serious?
Yeah, seriously, it's yours.
Well, okay.
So let's get off the stage for the far.
I can take it now?
Yeah, if you could carry it on your back, you can
At the
take
end of
it.
the show.
That's crazy. That's serious?
You
Thank
deserve
you.
it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
I didn't know. That's cool.
So anyway, everyone, please help us celebrate the Elephant's 1,000 horsepower.
It's a long way to get here. And so to be here and recognized by the leader in cool performance, Mopar, somebody you spent your life dedicated to fixing and repairing and promoting, doesn't get a lot better.
So, as always, it's Mopar or no car. Thanks, everyone.
He was pretty excited.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. That's yeah. Oh man, I did not know I was getting that. Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Cars. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Alice!